I'm a bit late. My chanting ran a bit over. Oh gosh, I'm looking very glowy on Instagram. Hi everybody. So we are going to be doing some chanting. We're going to be doing a card like we've been doing every day. And what I want to do today is I actually want to answer some questions as well. So if you have a question you would like me to answer, just tell me. Now, the one thing I wanted to start off by saying is today, I believe today is April the 1st. Is that correct? Is it April the 1st? I just wanted to say, when I was starting astrology, I remember asking my first mentor, my first astrology mentor, does Friday the 13th have any astrological significance? What about April 1st? And she was like, no. And now, of course, I'm like, I can't even believe I asked that question. But no, there is no significance for April the 1st or Friday the 13th. However, happy April Fool's Day. I hope nobody played any mean tricks on you. If you wanted to play a mean trick on someone, you still got about an hour left English time. I usually put salt in my husband's coffee, but he did beg me not to do that anymore. Oh, and just an update, actually. Interesting. Yesterday I was talking about Mars-Saturn and how Olivier and I had a big upset about something, which like I said yesterday, I even can't remember what it was, I swear to God. But I was like, rah! I was really upset and he was upset. And we don't get that upset with each other very often. And so yesterday, before we chanted, I set the intention for a really beautiful, lovely day with Olivier. And guess what I had? A really beautiful, lovely day with Olivier. So it's really, really worth setting intentions, okay? And I think what happened was that we were feeling the Mars-Saturn. Now, one really good explanation for the energies that were around yesterday and the day before and the last few days. Mars is the drive to do stuff, and Saturn is the planet that puts the brakes on. Mars is the angry planet and Saturn is the planet of isolation. So if you were climbing the walls a bit, and I know from my own personal Facebook feed with my friends, you know, my in real life pals, a lot of people were feeling it. And that was it, Mars-Saturn. We are through it. Some astrologers, who I thought should have known better, were making some quite doom and gloom predictions about what we could expect regarding the whole virus situation. Thankfully, none of that seems to have come to pass, and it's come down more on a level of being really motivated about learning the lessons we need to learn through this cycle, and also maybe a bit of that cabin fever that some of us went through. Anyway, I seem to have come through it, touch wood, and I hope if you've had it, you have as well. I wanted to mention as well that we are now headed for the full moon, which is coming. It's going to be a super full moon in Libra. If you've got my Moonology diary, it's on page 84, and this is the one I'm afraid it's sold out, but we do have the 2021 one about to come. I'm actually going to do a cover reveal quite soon. It's a beautiful cover. I might actually do the cover reveal on here on my 1111. I'll print it out. Or I'll show it on the screen. It's so beautiful. Designed again by Nix Rowan, who did this cover and who also did, if you've got the My Moonology cards. Anyway, so the full moon is coming in the sign of Libra. And so that's going to be another interesting time for, you know, anybody you're in a relationship with, husbands, wives, exes, spouses, girlfriends, boyfriends, anyone who counts as a VIP in your life is going to be kind of picked up by this super moon in Libra. And one of the things to know is that it's taking place as we get the Jupiter-Pluto connection, which is upcoming. So what I've said in the diary is, what do you no longer wish to put up with in your most important relationships? But by the same token, Which dramas are you willing to move on from in your most important relationships? It's really important not to kind of go into blame at the moment, because we've had the Mars-Saturn thing and we've got the full moon in Libra coming up. So it's really important to keep an open heart at the moment. So I'm going to see if anybody's asked me a question. If there are any questions, please. I can't do personal questions. I can do sort of general questions. I can't do personal questions right now because I don't have my computer. I don't have my astrology software. Okay, here's one. Christy Watson says, I made a point to ask how everyone was today and see responses I got in return. Very interesting. And she's done the emoji. So what did you get, Christy? Tell us. I'm taking from that people are a bit, but it's okay. We've moved through a difficult week and we're through it now. Barb's Rhodes says, when is it too late for new moon wishes to manifest? Full moon or just before? Okay, when is it too late for new moon wishes to manifest? Full moon or just before? Guess what? It's never too late. It's never too late. So with new moon wishes, we make the new moon wishes at the time of the new moon. Why? Because as my old mentor Jonathan Kainer taught me, it's because it's when the veil between the worlds is thinnest. So it's easiest to make magic. And that's why witches and wizards have traditionally made their magic at the time of the new moon. And so then what you do is you basically keep that wish or intention or commitment in mind through the next 2 weeks of the full moon, okay? Through the next 2 weeks, of the waxing cycle until we get to the full moon. So you keep your new moon wishes in mind, front of mind, for the next 2 weeks of the waxing cycle. Now, when we get to the full moon, which we will on the 8th of April, unless you're in America, in which case it will be the 7th of April. There are different times around the world. But that's when we put them up, we surrender them to the divine, okay? If they haven't worked out, surrender them to the divine. Now, does that mean giving up on them? No, not at all. But it's really important to keep surrendering and surrendering and surrendering. Why? Because sometimes the divine has a better idea. So now, for example, this very house that I'm in right now, it took us 9 months to buy. 9 months! Okay, from the time that we first made our offer, which was accepted, to the time that we got the keys, it took 9 months. And the house went in and out of probate, for those of you who know what that means. The mortgage took forever. Not that there was a problem with it, it just we kept being asked again and again and again to resubmit this document and resubmit that document, to the point where we actually made a complaint because my husband thought it wasn't good enough. And guess what? For reasons I won't go into, but I swear, hand on heart, the day we exchanged, the day we paid our money, was the best day that it could have happened for 2 years, for the previous 2 years. So had we given our money on any other day in the previous 2 years, we would have paid more, for reasons I won't go into. But it was extraordinary, and it was like, wow, like that's why you surrender, you know? That's why you surrender, because then you see that everything goes in divine timing. So we would make our wish to buy this place or the place that was best for us at new moon. I made that every month for 9 months, and we would look at other places and keep our options open because it wasn't happening, because then I'd surrender it at the full moon, and then we'd look at other places and think, well, we still really like our place that we really want, but it's not working out, so we surrender it. We keep looking at other houses, and eventually we got the place that we wanted. We saved thousands, okay? Nobody lost out. And it worked out perfectly. So you just keep surrendering and keep surrendering. I hope that makes sense. Do you think it's possible to work with Kali and Kuan Yin at the same time? What a great question. So Kali is the goddess who destroys negativity, and we're working with her in the chanting we're doing at the moment. Kuan Yin is the goddess of compassion and mercy, and they have very different energies. Now, it's really interesting you ask that, Yvonne, because I've been doing this Kali mantra, which is about destroying the virus with the fire of our souls. And part of me actually was thinking, I wanted to know if we could move to a more healing mantra. Because I feel like this Kali mantra is so intense. In a way, I was thinking, oh, I wouldn't mind just doing something a bit gentler for a while, because we're doing this destroy chant. And I was thinking I might write to my teacher in India and say, you know, is there a healing mantra that we can do? But then I thought, you know what? When it's time to do the healing mantra, we'll be asked to do the healing mantra. So can you work with Kali and Kuan Yin at the same time? I think absolutely. Kali will destroy the negativity and Kuan Yin will soften it with her mercy and compassion. So I don't see why not. Yeah. Okay, any help for anxiety and sleep, the crazy energies around the moon? I have Aries rising. Yeah, so that's from Navita. Look, the thing is, Navita, look, even as I was just saying then about, I was thinking about writing to Narayani Amma and saying, can I do a healing mantra now, because this destroy mantra is so intense. Even as I was just saying that then, I realized, you know what? I've actually been tapping into those Mars-Saturn energies. That's why it's felt so intense, you know? So I think actually what's going to happen now is it's going to start to ease up a little bit. But we do have the full moon in Libra coming. So it's really important now, if you want to live consciously and intentionally, think about your relationships. Think about how you're going in your relationships. Are you being loving? Are you being caring? And one message I keep getting from the heavens is people who are dealing with their exes because of, say, an ongoing custody situation. You know, maybe you have your children one week and they have them the next week or whatever. You know, it's really such an important time now, especially as we move towards the full moon in Libra, to see if you can turn the corner on any animosity between you, because life is too short for animosity. Okay, but in all our relationships, it's a really, really good time to tell the people we care about that we care. And if there are issues with someone, then to see if you can work them out. Because, you know, what else are we going to do in isolation? We might as well try and sort things out with people. Life is too short. And also, just from the point of manifesting, you know, if you're angry with someone, if you're filled with resentment, your manifesting is not going to work as well, because basically what you get back is what you put out. So if you're angry and you're putting out anger and resentment and jealousy or, you know, fear or anything like that, that's what you're going to get. It's very hard to manifest when you're really angry with someone, put it like that. Someone very kindly, is a full moon a good time to invest if it's in your house for finances? Yes, absolutely, a good time. Yeah, I mean, you kind of need to look at what else is going on in your chart, but overall, you know, as a rule of thumb, if the full moon is in your second and eighth houses, because it will always straddle both the houses at once, it's a time when, money issues are going to come up, and it's a really good time to be dealing with them and to turn the corner. Someone up the comments very kindly asked, how's my Uncle Minnie? I have been trying to get him. He's sleeping a lot. He's going on to his fourth cocktail of chemo, and it's very hard. All of us cousins and his brothers and sister are trying to get him on the phone, but he's asleep a lot. From what I understand, he was feeling better yesterday than he had been feeling for the previous few days, so hopefully he's been getting our healing. I was just putting my healing circle when I was doing my chanting before. Let's see, anything else? Any other questions? Love to him. Oh, thank you, Susan. Hello, gorgeous. Fancy seeing you here. What else? So Kira Z says, is it possible the way the planets are set up at this time that it's a huge message for everyone who's in isolation to recognize and notice more, which will make everyone react in a positive way, like a wake-up call? So, I mean, I don't think there's any doubt that this is a wake-up call for humanity. And I don't think there's any doubt that there are lessons for us to learn. What I do think is it's quite a difficult time for a lot of people, you know. I feel really lucky because I think I'm one of the lucky ones. You know, I've got my family around me. We moved into our house. Like, had this happened 5 or 6 months ago, before we moved into this house, you know, we were living in a 1-bedroom flat for a long time, because we moved in thinking we'd only be in there for a month or something, and it was available, and we ended up being there for a year, which was fine, because as a family, we were a close family, and we were really close for a year, you know. But now we're in a nice big 3-bedroom house, and you know, we've got a garden and we've got each other. But there are a lot of people doing it tough, and you know, our hearts have to go out to them. So it's all, you know, we can see it as a wake-up call, and I think it is a wake-up call to a lot of us about the way we are, the way we live. But I think the most important thing is to call in Kuan Yin, the goddess of compassion and mercy, and make sure that we stay compassionate. I've actually been giving a little bit of money to charity, to people like, so there was one for anyone in the UK. I mean, I didn't give terribly much, and I'm certainly not trying to boast about it. I'm just saying, I gave to the Addison Lee campaign they've got going at the moment. If you're in the UK, actually I think Addison Lee might be in Australia as well. I don't know if they're in America, but they're doing a thing in the UK at least, where you can give some money, and that will go to pay for the petrol and the drivers, who will then give free lifts, so to speak, free because you know, we're paying for them, but they become free lifts to the NHS staff, so they can go to and from their homes, especially the ones I think who are leaving, you know, who are doing late shifts and early shifts, so they don't have to take public transport. So, you know, think about that. Can you give some money to help people? If you're in a position to, can you help people? Or if you're in a position, can you help your neighbour? You know, it is a wake-up call in that respect, for sure, for sure, for sure, for sure. Okay, so I think we are going to do some chanting, and then we'll do a card. Okay, the moon's in Cancer, for anyone who wants to know, and we are headed for the full moon. Oh, and by the way, if you want to sign up for all the full moon information, if you want to kind of, we've got the full moon kit. It's all free. Full moon kit, full moon chant, all the free stuff. It's all in my Moonlight Club, Lite, light. That's the free version. So if you're interested, it's moonmessages.com. /moonlight, Lite, moonmessages.com /moonlight, Lite, and you can get the whole free full moon forgiveness kit, which will help you as we move towards the full moon. All right, so what I thought we'd do today is we'll start with the chakra chant, and then we'll go to the Kali chant. So I'll just do the chakra chant by myself. For those of you who know it, please chant along with me. And then we'll do 3 Mahakali chants, okay? So I'll just start with that, and then we'll do a card. Let's ring the bell. So this is a chant to clear our chakras. Hari Om Nam Lam Mam Vam Sim Ram Vam Yam Yam Ham Shiva Ram Swaha. And now we'll go to the Mahakali, just 3 times. Om Krim Mahakali Sarvarogam Nasi Nasi. Om Krim Mahakali Sarvarogam Nasi Nasi. Om Krim Mahakali Sarvarogam Nasi Nasi. Short and sweet today. All right, who wants a card? Have you got a question? I'm going to do a card. One card for everybody. Ask your question in the comments. What's your most pressing issue? Give me a question about anything you want. Okay. Oh, it's rather nice. A new romantic cycle begins. New moon in Libra. Oh my gosh, and I opened straight to it. Okay, here we go. This is what we all need in our relationships, including with anyone who's dealing with their exes. Okay? Give and take could well be the answer to whatever dilemma you're asking about. Compromise may be called for. It's time to start negotiating or even renegotiating. When the new moon in Libra card, yes, comes up, there's a restart for you and for someone else. A new relationship could be beginning. Anyone meeting someone online out there? And if that's the case, the chances are this will be a healthy and well-balanced connection. In anything you do after pulling this card, doing it in pairs is advised, such as teaming up with someone in business or in your personal life. You know, and if you're single, maybe find a buddy, you know, and say, okay, you can call me anytime. I'm here for you, you know. Libra is a sign of relating, and this card suggests that whoever is at the heart of the issue you're addressing is someone who will be open to talking things through. Avoid being selfish, it won't get you anywhere. The attunement is reach out to someone and let them know you care. Feel more, think less. For some, marriage or engagement is on the cards. Let me know if your beloved is in isolation and proposes to you over WhatsApp or something. That'd be so cool. A legal matter will go your way. Pay some attention to your appearance, but don't be all about appearances. So there we go. Have a beautiful, beautiful day, and I will speak to you this time tomorrow, and I always look forward to reading your comments.